Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking you through a full day of eating for weight loss. I just started a fat loss phase. Today is my first full day in a deficit, and I'm going to take you along. I'm going to show you exactly what I eat, and I'm also going to tell you why I choose those things and give you a couple of ideas, insights into what I do to make a weight loss phase successful and easy, quite frankly. Easier. Look, weight loss isn't easy, but there are things to do to make it easier, and I'm going to share the things that I have learned through the years, both just on myself and the things that have helped my clients. Well, first I want to show you my breakfast first. Meal number one. I'm like 3/4 of the way done. This is my protein pancake. I'm going to pop the recipe up here. It does not have protein powder in it. So if you're like, I don't want any protein powder, it does not have protein powder in it. Many people make their protein pancakes with protein powder. I don't typically like the texture. I think they're kind of like a Frisbee. I don't want to eat most of them. This one, fluffy. You see the fluffy? Secret ingredient. It sounds weird. Try it. It's cottage cheese. So I'm going to put the whole recipe up here. Cottage cheese and egg whites is what gives this pancake its protein. The cottage cheese makes it really fluffy. There's cinnamon, there's vanilla, really yummy stuff in there. It takes about 8 minutes to make. It's really easy. It's delicious. And it is super filling. And that's important. When you're in a weight loss phase, finding food that is filling is very important. Did I say oatmeal? There's oatmeal in this. That's my first breakfast, day one of a fat loss phase. So I want to talk you through 4 things I do to be successful in a fat loss phase. First thing I do, I count calories. It is not a must. If you don't want to count calories, you don't have to. I have lots of clients who prefer to not count calories, and there are other ways to create your deficit rather than just counting calories. You have to be in a deficit to lose weight. I prefer to see the numbers and eat accordingly, which is why I like counting calories. It works for me. Second thing I do is I calorie cycle. I'm going to explain to you what that is and why I prefer it. So some people prefer to eat the same number of calories every day. So if Monday through Sunday I ate 1,500 to 1,600 calories, that's a straight deficit. Works perfectly fine. I do have clients who prefer that. Most of my clients prefer calorie cycling, and I prefer calorie cycling. And what that means is someday you eat higher calories and someday you eat lower calories. All of those calories in a fat loss phase are deficit calories. It's not like some days are maintenance and some days are deficit. They're all deficit. Some days the deficit is steeper. So let me tell you what it would look like first of all. I'm going to tell you my calories, and I want to be very clear. I'm not suggesting that these are the calories for you. These are the calories that work for me for weight loss based on how much I move and on my weight and my gender. I'm a very petite woman. Keep that in mind. My calories are 1,350 to 1,450 4 days per week, 1,550 to 1,650 3 days per week. So you can see there are 2 different numbers. Why is that useful? Well, some days I want to go out to dinner, and that's harder to do on 1,350 to 1,450 calories. I can do it, but it's harder. So having these days where it's higher calories means I have a little bit more freedom with my calories on those days. So I take these lower days to make room for the higher days. You don't have to put those days in the same order each week, but you can. If you prefer more calories on days you work out, if you prefer the weekends to be higher calories. I personally leave it open to change, and every Sunday I look at my week ahead, I look at my calendar and think, this will be a higher calorie day, that will be a higher calorie day, and I place them that way. So calorie cycling works really well for me to be successful in a fat loss phase. The third thing I do is I pre-log all my food. I know the night before what I will eat the next day, and it is in my log, which means when I wake up in the morning, doesn't matter how busy I am or what happens, I can look and see like, what did I plan to eat today, and then I just eat it. There's no decision fatigue there. I don't have to think about my food. It is there, and I decided it when I was not hungry, when I was not having cravings, and there wasn't some super yummy smell in my nose. I'd already made my decision, and then I work my plan. It is extremely useful to make those decisions not emotionally, or it's like, what do I feel like right now? Doesn't mean I don't include foods that I really like and that I feel like eating. I just choose ahead of time and plan them in there so that it's not 3 o'clock and I'm out of calories, or it's 3 o'clock and I need 60 grams of protein and I have no carbs left and no fat left. So I plan ahead of time. When I plan, I have a certain template I follow, and I'm gonna tell you that now. This is something I share with all of my clients when they get their first set of nutrition guidelines from me. This is how I want them to pre-log. This is how I do it. First, I put in all my protein. I make sure that I hit the grams of protein. So the protein for me, I get 100 to 130 grams of protein per day when I'm in a fat loss phase. So I make sure I start by pre-logging by making sure I hit that protein. That means I get protein at every meal. It's hard to hit your protein targets if you don't get protein at every meal. So I put protein at every meal. Then I make sure I put vegetables in there and some fruit. Once I've done those things, I use the rest of the calories however I want, keeping in mind the fact that 80% of my food should be healthy, nourishing stuff. I shouldn't just put protein, vegetables, fruit, and fill the rest up with jelly beans, right? Like, that's not what I should do. But I can, not that I would ever in my life pick a jelly bean. There'll be many other things I pick over jelly beans. So I do put treats in there. I think today I put in hot chocolate. That's funny, I can't even remember what I put in my log. We'll find out later as I eat what I put in my log. I have plants and protein every day at most meals. Some days at breakfast, I will have plants. Today I didn't. Often I do have vegetables or fruit with my breakfast. Every other meal, plants and protein every single time. So I pre-log those. The fourth thing I do to be really successful at weight loss is I automate my eating. What I mean by this is I eat the same foods a lot. So I will eat the same thing for breakfast all week this week. I will eat the same thing for lunch all week this week. I'll show you what that's gonna be later. This protein pancake, that's gonna be my breakfast. I'm gonna make it every day for a week. I don't have to think about it. Same thing for lunch. Dinner I do a little bit differently because I have a family and they quite frankly do not want to eat the same thing every night for dinner. And I prefer to eat with them most of the time. Sometimes I'll have something different. Most of the time I eat what they're eating. And so I have a template for how I do most of my dinners. Look, sometimes we get pizza, sometimes I make pasta. All of those things are fair game. More often than not, most of our meals follow this template. It is based on a protein. Chicken, fish, pork, beef, ground beef, turkey, one of those. I base the meal around a protein. There is some vegetable present. For me, 90% of the time it's salad. My family doesn't like salad. They prefer things like green beans and peas and stuff I just wouldn't eat. I don't like those things, so we do different vegetables. I always have 1 or 2 vegetables for them, and I have my salad. We all eat the same protein, and then I have fruit. That is what most of my dinners look like. If you're thinking like, where the heck are the carbs are most of the other places during the day. My family is a very carb-centric bunch of people. They eat tons of carbs for breakfast and tons of carbs at lunch, and they eat carbs for snacks. I don't serve carbs at dinner most of the time. If that goes against your sense of like, that is not a complete meal, like if you grew up like you have to have potatoes or rice or pasta on the table and you're struggling to hit your calories, that might be something to kind of fight against. I do have carbs with my meals. I am not low carb. I just don't make it a requirement for every meal. It's so easy to get carbs. It's so easy. So make that work for you. And here's the thing, weight loss can work whether you're higher carb or lower carb. If you get your protein right and you get your calories right, you can decide carbs, fats, what ratio you want that in there, when you want them during the day. It doesn't matter. You can eat carbs at night, you can eat carbs in the morning. Sometimes I'll have carbs for a snack before bed. None of that matters. So those are the 4 things I do that really help me be successful at a weight loss phase. I'm gonna show you in a few hours what I'm going to do for lunch. It's my secret to just getting in a ton of food. Have to talk beverages as well. I don't really drink anything that has calories, even when I'm not trying to lose weight. It's just not my thing, except I do like a good cup of Christmas wassail. I've had my fill of that this Christmas already though. These are my go-tos. Sparkling water, love it. Hot tea, herbal tea. I love all the flavors of herbal tea. These are my 2 go-tos. The carbonation in this one really helps if I'm feeling extra hungry, which, let's be honest, when a person is in a deficit, there's hunger. Like, hunger is associated with being in a calorie deficit. This helps to fill me up. This I find very soothing. And also, it fills me up, it keeps my mouth busy. To this day, I still have emotional eating tendencies. It is something I have learned to manage, but a lot of the weight that I put on when I was obese had to do with emotional eating. I ate my emotions all the time. When my kids were stressing me out, when I was worried, my first thing when I was upset, my first go-to instinct is still, I wanna eat. I wanna eat something right now. I'm also a procrastinator. When I have a big project to do and I'm not sure what to do next, I tend to think, okay, food. And now that I'm very well aware of these tendencies, I can work through them without turning to food, but still one of my first lines of defense while I'm figuring out like what am I gonna handle? How am I gonna handle this emotion? What am I gonna do about wanting to procrastinate? Should I take a break? What will I do next? What do I do about being upset with my kiddos? One of my first lines of defense to be calm and to have something to do with my mouth instead of eating while I'm figuring out what to do, herbal tea. So I just got to my hairdresser's. Remember I told you I knew I had put some snacks into my food log for the day, and I just remembered what it was. It's butterscotch candies. It's old lady candy, but I love them. You wanna take a look? These guys, 25 calories. I had 2 on my log. Yes. Candy in a fat loss phase. So 2 pieces. I think it's 50 calories. I don't know now, but I knew last night and it's planned. And I'm gonna eat it. I'm putting 1 in my purse for after, and I'm gonna have 1 now. Seriously, they're so yummy. They're just so good. I don't care if it's old lady candy. Done at the hairdresser now, so it's time for candy number 2. So I looked on my log. They're 21 calories per piece. If you're thinking like, lady, why on earth are you logging candy that's 21 calories a piece? Because I wanted to, so that's 42 calories. And again, you're like, that's only 42 calories. Do that a couple of times a day, or have that mentality where it's only X number of calories, so I won't count it. And that's where stuff adds up. For me, it's just way easier to log what I want, know that I can have it, and enjoy it. So I enjoy these butterscotch candies for my 42 calories. I put them in my log. I know that I'm gonna hit my calorie target and enjoy my butterscotch candies. I'm also having a big mug of hot chocolate later tonight. I will enjoy every last bit of that. I will have logged it, and I know that I'm on track for my goal. And that's important to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have set the goal. I'm home from the hairdresser, did a little bit of grocery shopping, and I'm ready to make lunch now. I keep my salads super simple. I like fancy salads. I don't like making fancy salads. So today, baby arugula, I will probably use about half of this tub. I like a big salad, it keeps me full. So I will use about half of this. I do not get crazy about like weighing and measuring my greens. That to me seems not necessary. You could. I do weigh and measure lots of other things, not my greens. Okay, so baby arugula, because apparently romaine is going to kill us. Romaine is always on recall, and so I'm just always nervous about it, so I'm really digging the arugula these days. One of the best kept secrets to get a lot of protein in, super portable, really easy, is canned chicken. Have you had it before? If you're not a tuna person, this could be for you. I like tuna, I don't know, I'm kind of sick of tuna. I love canned chicken, and it's really high in protein. So I put 2 of these little cans or 1 big can in, and there's like 46 grams of protein in this meal. That's a lot of protein. I usually put cucumbers in this, and my cucumbers were moldy. That's sad. This is not my favorite poppy seed dressing. My favorite poppy seed dressing is Lighthouse, and I cannot find it all of a sudden. It's nowhere. My other favorite dressing is Trader Joe's champagne pear vinaigrette. That's actually number 1 right now. They're out of that too. So I'm got 3rd string here. Panera poppy seed. It's good. It doesn't wow me, but it's good. Only 25 calories for 2 tablespoons. I will say, I used to be firmly on team, why are people wasting their calories on salad dressing? Just give me a 0-calorie dressing. You know, I don't really feel that way anymore. I prefer a little more flavor, so I don't really do too much with those 0-calorie dressings like from Walden Farms. If you like them, eat them. I really want to have a salad I can enjoy, and so I like having a really good flavor. I have some clients who, for them, 125 calories worth of salad dressing makes the whole salad amazing, and for them that is a decision that means that they will stay on track more because they will eat that salad happily and they'll eat it over and over and over. If that's you, do that. I do like to measure my salad dressing when I'm in a fat loss phase because the calories, again, can add up. So this is a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon that I have here. And in we go. By the way, are you familiar with this bowl? This is good stuff here. This is good stuff. This is the, I don't know how to say it, OXO or OXO. I don't know which is correct, the company who makes it. They make this salad chopper. So it's basically a double-edged, Alexa just randomly started talking. It's basically a double-edged pizza cutter, and you use it to chop your salad. I love a good chopped salad. You throw everything you want in your salad in the bowl. The protein, the vegetables, the dressing, put it all in there. The only thing you can't put in here when you use this slicer is your avocado. You will make mush if you use this with your avocado. So hold that till the end. Okay, and then hold the bowl firmly. Chop away. So you can do different levels of chopping. For some people, this would be fantastic. I like to go crazy. I like a really finely chopped salad. All right, that's how I like my salad. Do you remember how much arugula was in there? There was a lot of vegetables in there, and like I said, I usually throw cucumbers in here too. You get a lot of vegetables in. It's a ton of volume of food. It's a ton of protein, and what this means is you get satisfied. You get a lot of chewing in. I like that. You get a ton of protein, which is the most satiating of all the macronutrients. This keeps me full. Again, super important when you're in a fat loss phase, and it's delicious. This chopper thing, not only is it good to get everything nice and diced up, which I like I've told you before, I didn't historically eat vegetables till I was like 42. I think I was 42 or 43, 41, some early 40s when I started really eating vegetables. And so for me, getting vegetables in a way I like takes some effort, and this is one way that I like them. Other thing I like about this though is it spreads the dressing perfectly. It's perfectly portioned throughout the meal, and I like that. That's especially useful if you're kind of being light on the dressing. You don't want to put a ton on there. I like that. I might try and add another tablespoon. I'm going to taste this and see if it's enough. If not, I'm going to add another tablespoon of dressing. I will note that I do eat it right out of this chopping bowl. I have no time for extra dishes, so the chopping bowl becomes the serving bowl. It's a lot of salad. That's a good salad. I don't even need extra dressing. I wasn't sure because, to be honest, I have been eyeballing my dressing when I was in a maintenance phase. I would do about 2 tablespoons. Now that I'm back in a fat loss phase, I will measure my salad dressing. I wasn't quite sure if I'd be okay with 2 tablespoons, but I am. Apparently it's been about what I've been doing. It means I'm getting good at my eyeballing. And it's important to know, it takes time to learn how to eyeball stuff. We think we know what we're doing, but if you haven't weighed and measured for long enough, you really don't necessarily have a good sense of what is 2 tablespoons. Keep that in mind. Dinner time. I am a big fan of simple cooking. I call these recipes that aren't really recipes because it's mostly just stirring stuff together and sometimes cooking it. This part of my dinner, no cooking. This is a bag of broccoli slaw, and broccoli slaw is mostly broccoli, but there's also cabbage and carrots chopped up into it. It's again a really good high volume food. You can eat a lot of this for very few calories. I enjoy it a great deal. To that, you're gonna add chopped red onion. I buy mine pre-chopped. It comes down to what do you have more of, time or money. I realize sometimes you have neither. You gotta make your best choice and go with it. For me, if I can buy something pre-chopped, I do. All right, I'm not gonna measure out my onion. I'll put the recipe up for this. Just a bunch of red onion. Wow, that is some pungent onion. This part you do have to chop on your own because I've never yet found this pre-chopped. This is a can of water chestnuts. They make it taste really good. So just dice them up, and to make it easier, you gotta have the right gadgets. What did we do before these guys? You remember? We'd actually dice stuff. This took me like, I won't even say 20 seconds to dice up that whole can of water chestnuts. It's literally just throw it, bam, bam, and it's done. The dressing for this, apple cider vinegar, stevia. I randomly have organic stevia. That is so not necessary. I think I ordered this online one time and got it organic on accident. Salt, pepper. That's all this dressing is. Mix it up, pour it on top, stir this around, and let it sit. It is delicious. It is the best side dish I've ever found for this fish I'm going to make. I'll show you the fish in just a minute. And it is perfect with this salmon. So it really is just a matter of stirring it up, putting it in the fridge to get it cold. And you don't even have to do that. You could eat it, like I could eat it just like this. It's so good. If you're not a salad person, you still might like this. Really good stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this aside. I'm gonna make fish. This salmon recipe is my all-time favorite salmon recipe. Kids love it, grown-ups love it, it's delicious. It's a little more recipe-like in that there are spices involved, but it's seriously just mixing 4 things together and pouring it on a piece of salmon. That's it. Lemon juice, lemon pepper, garlic, and I've gone to using garlic paste because then you're not even chopping up garlic. So you buy garlic paste right next to the garlic. It tells you right on the back how much to substitute in for a clove of garlic. It's literally squeezing a tube. Doesn't get easier than that. Basil. Those 4 ingredients, I'll put the recipe up. Mix it all up. Put your salmon on a sheet pan that's sprayed with Pam. Of course, use foil so you don't have a big mess to clean up. Pour this all over that. Wahaha, that looks amazing. Smells really yummy and citrusy. Then it's just 30-ish minutes at 350 degrees and it's done. I'm gonna serve this right on top of the broccoli slaw. So good. I'm having a microwave sweet potato tonight with my dinner. I typically have carbs earlier in the day because I like to have carbs around my workouts, but I'm working out in the evening tonight, so I'm having my carbs now with dinner. Interesting thing about microwave sweet potatoes, I used to just put in my log medium sweet potato. This looks to me like a medium sweet potato. Medium sweet potatoes are around 112 calories. I decided to start weighing my sweet potatoes recently just to see. I was way off. This sweet potato, if you weigh it, so I don't know how often you've used a Food Scout, super easy. You just find what measurement you want to use. So I want to use grams, pop it on there. This, when I looked up 223 grams, if you look up 223 grams of a sweet potato, which is the size of this sweet potato, it is about double a medium sweet potato. So I was eating potatoes this size thinking they were around 112 calories and they're a little over 200 calories. That is a massive difference. Weigh your food. Don't have to weigh your vegetables. Weighing your protein, your starchy carbs, your fats, really important if you want to be accurate. 100 calories less. So this is how I eat my sweet potatoes. I buy them first of all in the shrink wrappy stuff. Microwave them for 8 minutes, open them up, cinnamon on top. So delicious, so delicious. I do so many things with these. So sweet potato coming alongside the rest of this dinner. I already talked you through the whole meal as I was making it. Here it is all together. Sweet potato, salmon, broccoli slaw. I have some apple slices added as well. This is actually a lot of food. Again, I've been talking about high volume eating. It helps me to stay full. I don't know if I can actually eat this quantity of food, and I will say I will not eat it just because I've already logged it. I will stop eating when I'm satisfied. I will not just keep going and stuff myself because I've already logged it. If I'm not hungry, I will stop eating it. I might eat it again later if I decide, 2 hours from now that I'm hungry, but I won't eat it just to eat. I actually ended up eating almost all of it. A little bit of the slaw left, ate all the apples, ate all the fish, and most of the potato. But I am fine leaving bites behind if I'm not hungry for them, so a little bit left. Wrapping up this full day of eating today with my hot chocolate. I've been looking forward to this all day. It is warm, it is chocolatey. I choose a low-cal variety. You might not want that. You might prefer a higher calorie one that maybe you might do less of to still fit into your calories. I like getting this big volume of hot chocolate. I use like a Swiss Miss reduced calorie, and it tastes good, and it's less than 100 calories for multiple packs. That is my last bit of food for the day. So a couple of things I want to go over with you with regards to how you saw me eat today. One, first I'm going to pop up here the Lose It app screenshot so you can see my day. One of the things I really want you to notice is where it says exercise 0. That doesn't mean I didn't exercise today. I did exercise today. I did a barbell complex today, and I also got plenty of steps in today. Why it says 0 is because I do not connect my calories burned to my log at all. I don't connect those two things. I keep them separate. I do track my steps, I do log my workouts, as in I keep a record of my workouts, but I don't connect them to this app because we way overestimate how many calories we burn, as does technology. Any kind of tracker you might wear or the machine you're looking at the gym, it overestimates how many calories you're burning. We also, just as human beings, even people who really know what they're doing, they've done studies even on nutritionists, we tend to underestimate the calories that we are eating. So you put those two things together, that could eat up your deficit. So don't connect your calories burned to your tracking app. There's a way to turn that off. It's super simple. Don't do it. That's the first thing I want you to notice. The second thing I want to talk to you about is the way you saw me eat today is not a prescription for how you should eat. A couple of lessons that hopefully you learned that you can apply are: eat foods you like. Everything you saw me eat today was something I like to eat. I did not eat anything I don't like. Another thing I want you to think about is this food is food that I could eat in higher volume to help keep me full while I'm in a calorie deficit. Hunger is a part of this. It just is. If we can eat foods that we can eat a lot of, so like vegetables, like cottage cheese, like egg whites, if we can eat things that are high in volume for the calories, really great strategy. I do it all the time and I do it purposefully. These are also foods that are gonna get me plenty of nutrition. You saw it was mostly nutritious food. I did have a couple of pieces of candy. I got my hot chocolate here, but there was a lot of protein and a lot of plants. Of course, the numbers themselves, the calories you saw me eat, the grams of protein you saw me eat, that is not particular to you. Those are the numbers that I need. I will be having a new video coming out very soon that will talk you through how to set up your macros and how to count your macros and about weighing and measuring and all of those things. That's coming really soon. Be sure to hit subscribe so you know when that video is released. If you liked this video, please like it and comment. Thank you so much for being here. Sure hope it was helpful for you.